Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build in version 1.16.4. This is Manticore here, and today I think we are going to go ahead and tackle two fishing buildings. So now we're going to do two different styles just to give you guys some different ideas and maybe inspire you to build something of your own. But so the first one that we're going to build right down here at the edge of this huge lake is we're going to do a little fishing dock. So we're going to go ahead and start with the inner frame for this building, and we want it to be a little bit before the edge of the water here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw down the four corners of the frame just to give us an idea of what we're working with here today, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now we've got some short little corners. I think before we build these all the way up, I want to go ahead and do the corners of the docks as well. So generally, I like to make the paths for docks about 2 wide on both sides. So that would come out to about here, and this side would come out to about here as well. And this will make a little bit more sense once we get further into it. This is about a good height, even though it looks a little tall, because we're going to make this a raised platform, I believe. We might lower it once we get into the building phase a little bit further on. Now, following the edge of this dock frame, I think we're going to want to take it out to just about here, because we don't want it to go beyond this point. We'll want it to sort of wrap around the building in an L shape. Alright, so now that we've got that done, let's go ahead and build up the inner frame a little bit more. And just eyeballing it, I think this will be about right. We can raise that here a little bit later on if we do need it as well. It's not too hard. And so just finishing off that frame, the next step that we're going to cover is going to be the floor, because that will make things sort of come together all in one. Now, I think I was going to use spruce for the roof, but I think we're actually going to use it for the dock here today. Now, I want to go ahead and build it out to about here, I think. And just for the heck of it, let's bring it around this corner as well, because we're going to have to do some railing up here. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and throw that in here now. Okay, so we've got a little bit of railing, and then we'll go ahead and finish this wraparound dock. And really quick, I'm going to go ahead and throw in another little oak frame here for the dock, because these are going to be the stairs that lead up to it. So we want the railing to go from there to there at this point. Now, finishing out this dock, it'll come and wrap around the side like so. And then this is going to be the walking path section, at least up to here. And then let's go ahead and fill in this area as well. This is where the railing is going to be. And so we're actually going to need to go up one more high on that. Alright, now we'll bring this out around this side. And again, we'll go ahead and give it that extra edge back here so that the railing can sit on. And you know what? Since this one doesn't have an entrance, I think we're actually okay to just do it right about there. Okay, so now we'll wrap this back around here and finish this. And right here in this corner is where we want that other wooden dock frame to be. Okay, so you can kind of see the dock coming into play. And we'll add the railing as well. And we'll just do it over here, and we'll leave this open for now because we actually need to do the two little docks that go out over the ocean for that. And let's go ahead and add these stairs here really quick. So since this is a half slab, it's going to have to be something like that. And since it's got kind of this odd platform. We can either build it directly like this, which is what I was originally thinking, or to make it look a little bit more unique, we can do something like that. And I do like that, so I think we'll stick with it. And we can either leave it plain like this and throw in some little slabs down there to make it look less square underneath and more gradual. And we can also add some more oak to kind of frame it. I think I'll throw in some railings here as well. And right here, I'll go ahead and replace that. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe let's add one more and see how that looks. Okay, yeah, that's kind of nice. We walk up here and can see the rest of the town. We'll stick with that for now. And so since this is fairly high above the water and we want it to be a dock type fishing port, I'm going to go ahead and bring this down one more. And I think we'll do, maybe about, I tend to do my docks about 4 wide. So we'll go ahead and start with that. And then we'll go ahead and just bring this out a good ways. That doesn't look too bad. Let's see what we're at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we could do that, or I think we can do, instead of doing that right there, let's go ahead and add the wooden pillar right here. And that just kind of makes the dock itself look more natural. And we're going to be adding a few of these here as well. Okay, and we'll do something like that. And then 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So this is right in the center here. We're going to add some more of these beams here just for the heck of it to make it look better supported. And then taking this down another half slab, I want to add something sort of like this. That is kind of the area where you would dock your boat. So now I think this is a little bit different than what I normally do. Usually I would do something a little bit like this and then pull it around the side here. But since this is a smaller sized dock, I'm going to go ahead and keep this lifted for now. And thinking we could do something like if we take it down another one like this. Okay, yeah, something like that maybe. And then for this, I want to try and add something a little bit different to it. Maybe, see if I can get a good angle on it here. Something like that. That way it looks like it's more a part of it rather than just floating like this one is. Okay, so we'll add that as well. And then so we can go ahead and throw our little boat in there when we park it, and we should be able to just hop right up here. Now, fixing the time really quick so we can actually see what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and see if we have enough room to make a second dock. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we would, it just wouldn't give us very much room to fish off the edge right here, so I think we're going to leave it at just the one dock. But if you were building with a wider space, you could go ahead and throw in another dock built just like that right along the side. To keep everything symmetrical, I want to go ahead and build another wooden pillar right in here. That way it's on the side of the entrance of the dock for both of those. And now we can go ahead and add this other railing now that we know there's not going to be another dock here. So that takes care of the actual dock portion of this build, which is the most unique thing about it. From here, we're just going to go ahead and throw together a little bit of a house here for some storage with boat supplies or maybe some maps, some cartography stuff. And I'll go ahead and get this done, and then I will be back. Okay, folks, we are back. We went ahead and got this little fishing hut area all set up for the fishing docks. And we're going to go ahead and add some interior. I decided I'd go ahead and do this while I'm on here, so that way I can kind of talk through it and my reasoning behind what I'm adding. Alright, so one of the biggest things that you can add to make it really obvious, hey, this is a fishing shack, are some little item frames that actually have not pictures, but they have the fish inside of them. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab some salmon here. And we'll go ahead and throw that up in the picture frame for now as our little decoration, and we'll be adding a bunch more of those. Then we're also going to want some chests in order to store the actual food. So let's go ahead and add those right about here under the windows, and that way it kind of goes together. And then I mentioned earlier adding a cartography table. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That way this is kind of like the house that you would go to before you set off on your voyage. And you can figure out your route as you go. So after we just added that, I'm going to go ahead and move this over because I want to do some map stuff right there. But we will go ahead and do, I think, that, and then we'll add a map of the surrounding area. But since I don't have those set up yet, I'm going to go ahead and do those here in just a minute. Now, as for the decorations, I think we'll do something like that. And then we've also got cod. And then maybe we'll do some kind of tropical fish for this next one. Oh, pufferfish, that works. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add these three as our decorative items. We'll put the pufferfish right in the center since it's a little different than the other two. And then we'll put these on the side here to kind of border it in a way. Okay, so typically here, if you were out here fishing, you'd come in with all your fish and then you'd stack them here inside the chests, and you can organize it however you want, or if your shack's built up a little bit differently, you can adapt it to however you want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and we need something here on this wall because right now it's too plain. So some of the things that we still need are a shelf to hold the fishing rods. So we'll grab that fishing rod. And then I think we'll go ahead and keep the shelves real basic for now. If you have invisible item frames set up, then those would work really well for this. But since I don't, we're just going to go ahead and grab some trapdoors and we'll place the item frames right above it. Okay, so just like this, we're going to go ahead and do something like, let's start from this corner and do something like that. That way, since this is on the cobblestone block, you can set anything up here from item frames to flower pots. And I actually did that in one of the decorative indoor decorating interior design. That's what I'm looking for. I did that on the White House, which I actually have not showed a video of yet. But so if you do something like that, you've got your little fishing rods sticking there, and then that way you can just come in here and grab it whenever you're ready to use it. And then I think we'll go ahead and add one more row of shelving further up here. If we didn't have those picture frames right there, we could add them right there as well, but since we do, that won't work. But what we're going to do is, just for the heck of it, we're going to throw in a little chest up here. We can throw some fishing enchantments or extra fishing rods, whatever we want right up there. And then just to show you guys that flower pot design, I'm going to go ahead and grab that real quick. So you throw the little flower pot, and as you can see, it sits right up on top, just like the chest does. And since this is a fishing shack, I think we need some blue flowers. We'll do the blue orchid. Alright. Now that gives something over there in that corner. And then, as for right here, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a little weird, but maybe we can do some boats. And these obviously aren't going anywhere, but I guess the idea would be that they're under construction, or I'm not even really too sure, but the idea is that we have them on hand to use. I guess it would kind of be like how some places stack up canoes inside of them. I don't know. I'm not really a nature person. I don't go out and do that stuff. So it looks a little weird, but I mean, it's there, and if we were in a survival world, we could go ahead and just break it and throw it in the water when we wanted to use it. So now that is going to do it for those, but just for the heck of it, I want to go ahead and throw in some extra decorative items here really quick because, yeah, I just have to. There's not enough color in here. So it'll be just like before. We'll do the pots with the leaves and the saplings in them. And with this texture pack, it kind of blocks the fish, but it adds more color to it and makes it look a little bit more interesting in here. So now I'm going to go ahead and go grab some maps, and I will be back to show you the concept behind this little cartography area. Alright folks, we are back, and as you can see, we have gone ahead and added those 6 maps. So we've got our little village here so far of the How to Build series, and you can see the dock right there, which looks pretty nice. Now, that's going to pretty much do it for what I want to do on the interior of this building, but if you are playing in survival and you're building up one of these fishing shacks, don't forget to add some torches around the place so that we don't have any mobs spawning in here. I'm going to go ahead and throw one right there, and I guess we'll do one right there as well, just to be extra sure that it's got enough lighting. So, let's go ahead and take a look at this from the outside. And this is what we've gone ahead and built as far as the fishing docks go. If you wanted, you could add a little bit more detail along this outside here, but otherwise, this is a pretty efficient little fishing dock. Now, I don't know what time we're getting to on this video, but if we have time, I want to go ahead and build up a little bit of a fishing. This one's actually going to be a fishing shack right over here. So now, if you've ever played World of Warcraft, I'm kind of thinking something like you'd see out in the, oh, it's been a long time, but out in the Orc Valley area, sort of near Senjin Village, where you've got those raised fishing shacks and the shark hanging from it. We're not going to go into all that detail, but we are going to do something similar here. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear up this weather and then we'll get started on that fishing shack. So getting started with this fishing shack, I want it to be tall, but I also want it to be kind of compact and more of a smaller design than what we did over there. So I want the base to be about 3 high, so it'll be something like that. And then we'll go ahead and keep continuing to build up this frame. I think we want to do about 4 high above the floorboard. And we'll do 4 wide, and dropping down to here, we'll raise up this frame. And then we'll keep it even and take it out about 6 blocks. So it should be something like right about there if I counted correctly. And I did. And then we'll just go ahead and bring these out. There we go. Oh, there we go. And we'll go ahead and add this floorboard in here next. So now I'm using a lot of wood for this build, but you could probably play around with it some in your own world. And you could try building it using brighter colors, maybe some birch, maybe some acacia, or maybe even some wool for the roof. We are going to be playing around with that quite a bit here because I want to see what we can do that will make it look really unique. Okay, we'll just go ahead and do that. And to make it look more of a gradual incline as usual, we'll add those stairs underneath. And then we'll also go ahead and add some railing around the sides. Thinking something like that. And then just to keep it even, we'll add these 2 little ones on this side as well. But ideally, you'd want to come and just fish off right from here. Now, adding some chests, I think we'll go ahead and put a double chest right about there and there for the fish that we fish up, and 2 doubles because, hey, we could be doing a lot of fishing. It's a definite possibility. Now, I want to go ahead and play around with this roof some. Rather than doing our traditional steep slope, 1 step raised, or the double wide, I want to see if we can't make something that's a little bit more rounded at the top, along with being taller. So actually, instead of doing those right up there, let's go ahead and leave them off for now. And we'll add these steps for the overhang. And we'll do the same on the other side. Just like that. We'll go ahead and add those ones underneath just for the heck of it, but now I actually want to take a regular block of dark oak planks, and like I mentioned before, I want to kind of make this more of a tall build. So we'll do something like this and see how this looks. And this is going to be a very open design as well, as you can see, since we haven't done any walls and it's just railing. So the majority of this build is actually just the frame. Now, on top of those dark oak planks, I think we'll go ahead and add another row of steps. And then we'll start to bring it in from here. Now, rather than doing just a point up at the top, I think we'll go ahead and bring out some of these dark oak slabs. And we'll bring those across. And then, after these, I think we'll go ahead and just do another row of dark oak planks. So something just like this. Okay, and now as you can see, that gives it kind of a nice rounded roof, something that you might see on maybe more of a barn or something a little bit different. And I want to go ahead and try to make this add some more detail to it, even though everything from here is purely aesthetic. So some spruce fence across the top looks kind of nice. It blends in pretty well with this oak. And it also makes it look a little bit more supported. But I just want to try maybe adding it to the bottom here, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so it's not bad, but it does still leave a lot of room up top. So I'm thinking what we can do is we'll go ahead and put it up top for this side as well. But then how would it look if we put it up here on the sides? Going for a little swim. Okay, so it's not bad, but it is a lot of fence, and it almost looks like some teeth or something weird like that. So I think we'll go ahead and take it off. But never be afraid to play around with your builds. You don't want it to look too complicated, but at the same time, you want it to look a little bit more detailed and have something that makes it unique. Coming back here on the inside of the building, we're going to go ahead and throw up some torches, so that way, again, we don't have to worry about mobs spawning in the survival world. If you are worried about that, you could always throw some gate fences right there so you don't have to worry about some creepers coming up on you while you're trying to fish. But I think that is going to have to do it. One last thing I want to notate is you could also put the torches down here on the sides as well, which doesn't look bad. But for real, that is going to be the end of it, and that is what we have. So kind of a little raised fishing shack looking thing, but it works for its purpose, and it is definitely different from this design. So whatever you want, to go with. Play around and see what you like in your world. But for there, we are going to call it. And I do appreciate you for watching this video all the way through. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below. It helps me out a lot. And for more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because they will be coming along shortly. Thanks everybody. Have a good one.